everything gotta be cut clean and all that. You know what I mean? I gotta be fresh at all times, you know what? That's just how I play my game and all that. You know what I mean? I gotta be fresh at all times and all that. So, you know, it's Mel Amaze, you know what I mean? I'm kicking up, you know what I mean? I gotta do what I gotta do and all that, you know what I mean? Everything is popping right now, you know what I mean? Be lighting up. Everything is popping right now. Be lighting up. Be official and all that, you know what I mean? Good morning. Good morning. And I mean good afternoon. Good afternoon. And I mean good night. Good night. And I mean that's how I play it all. That's how I play smooth and all that. Gotta be the cutest in New York, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Shout out to all the girls. All the girls, you gotta love me. You know what I mean? We official and all that, you know what I mean? We at the palace. You know what I mean? We at the palace. Palace looking nice. I'm looking nice. Everything is official. You know what I mean? We just getting this cake and all that, you know what I mean? I'm the cutest in New York, you know what I mean? Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to New Label Express. Shout out to New Label OT. You know what I mean? We grinding and shit, you know what I mean? Everything's love. You know what I mean? Everything's Gucci and all that, you know what I mean? And this good. You know what I mean? Everything Gucci and shit. So, you know what I mean? We just going shopping every day and all that. Just a cop sign nice and all that. You know what I mean? The feds be watching. They said don't flash no money and shit. So, I ain't flashing no money and shit. So, you know what I mean? We still getting cake and all that. Cash at me. Matter of fact, cash at me. Queer not one. Queer not one. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? So, everything's love. We at the palace and all that. You know what I mean? Go to the palace. I gotta be fresh. I gotta be the cutest. You know what I mean? Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? Every day of the week. Nigga, Friday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You know what I mean? Gotta be nice. Gotta be fresh and all that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Chief. That nigga said, shout out to Chief. Yo, shout out to the whole team. Shout out to Hoodie Down. Them niggas is nice. I said, shout out to Hoodie Down. We nice. Shout out to Hoodie Down. And what else? ENT and all that. Shout out to ENT. We going shopping. Nigga said, we going shopping. So, you know what I mean? All the goodies. They definitely gonna get with me and all that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Shout out to New Label Republic. Let me shout out to every country. Shout out to every country. Shout out to every Caribbean country. Shout out to every Caribbean country. You know what I mean? Shout out to every Caribbean country. And shout out to every Spanish country. Shout out to every Spanish country. You know what I mean? We in the mix and all that. So everything's nice. We official and all that. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Everything is fresh and all that. You might spend 1,000 today. I might spend 1,000 today. I might spend 2,000 today, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 today. 5,000 is good enough. You know what I mean? So everything's fresh, nigga. You know what I mean? We at the palace and all that.